Cade Cowell looks like he'll be the next big youth prospect moving from the US to Europe. So who is he? Why do people want him? Let's start with the bad, which are his stats. He has no goals this season in MLS and only 2 assists. He scored 1 goal for the US, but it was against Trinidad and Tobago, who are also bad. So pretty bad all around for his numbers. But if we take a look at this very patriotic pizza chart, we can get a better sense of what he is. Now, if we look at this, we see a lot of low numbers, which is bad. Namely, his touches are in the bottom 4% of all MLS wingers. At least that explains why his passing numbers are so bad, because you can't really pass the ball if you don't have it. So all of these numbers are bad, but we can see how good he is when he does get the ball. He has a ton of carries into the penalty area, a ton of touches in the penalty area, so he's getting in there most times when he gets the ball. He has a lot of take-ons attempted and completed, and a lot of shot-creating actions from take-on and goal-creating actions. So when he gets the ball, he's doing a lot with it. He just doesn't really get on the ball that much, and he's not really involved with build-up. At least this is what the stats say. Let's take a look at how he plays. That's going to give us a lot more than these not-so-great stats. Now, Cowell can play a bunch of different positions. Normally, he plays this left wing for San Jose and the US, but sometimes he'll play the striker, and on occasion he's even played a wing back for San Jose. But regardless of where he plays, how he plays is pretty similar. Even when he's a striker, he'll mostly be trying to operate in this half space between the opposition fullback and center back. He likes going wide, and he likes just starting deep and exploding into the space. So he's not really super involved in build-up, so he'll just kind of like float around. He doesn't pin the back line, he won't force anyone back, but he'll leave space and kind of draw the fullback in so then he can burst in if a ball is being sent over to him. He's very good at finding space in the box and making late runs in, but he's very bad at his work out of possession and getting on the end of things and actually getting that final product. Let's take a look at one of Cowell's big defects, which is holding on to the ball way too long. Now, this is from a game against Portland in the Leagues Cup. You see San Jose is trying to play out of the back. Cowell over here is going to make a run in to receive, and he does, but he wasn't looking to see this fullback here, which was his easy pass out. So then he didn't scan, he's looking around for help, he's blocked, he doesn't see anything, even though there's all this space in here to play the fullback, now off screen, in. He doesn't make that pass, he holds onto it so long that the ball ends up all the way back here, and he's handing it off to his center back to deal with. Looking at a good example where he's not holding on to the ball too long is in this game against Philly earlier in the season. He receives this ball in, and with his first touch takes a great directional touch away from this defender, beats the second guy, and plays a quick pass and moves off the ball. And that's where he's at his best, when he's beating 1 or 2 guys, making a pass, and sprinting into the space. And another solid part of his game is his intelligent runs. So again, looking at this Philly game, he's way at the edge of the screen over here, and he's gonna make this run in behind the space, and the ball ends up not being great. This ends up going over him, but you see this burst of speed that he has, that if the ball was good, he would have been in acres of space in behind the defense. So he's really good at making these intelligent runs behind the back line, catching them out with his quick pace. Another example of where he's done really well is, again, in this game against Philly. He's drifted over from the left to the right and is in this half space that we talked about earlier that he likes so much between the fullback and the center back, and he's gonna make a great run, burst of speed into the byline and get a cross into the center. And this is where we see that his end product isn't as good, because if this was a good cross into the strikers at the 6-yard box, that's probably an assist. So he has everything before the end product that a 1v1 winger would have, but he just can't find that last bit of the puzzle to really take his career off. And his explosive speed is often undermined by this end product problem. So we can see in this example where this is off of a corner, the ball gets sent out to the striker, and he's already seen this, he's ready, he's on his horse, he's going, and within 4 seconds he's already beat the center back that was off of the screen before from about the 35-yard line all the way in here, and he's left them for dead. But as he continues dribbling, you can see him get tripped up here, and he ends up slowing himself down, he has to cut back, and he does end up getting an assist off this cutback into a good shot. Here's one final example of Cowell playing for the US in the Gold Cup, again as this left winger over here. And again, he's in that half space, and he's leaving a lot of space for himself to run into. And this time, the ball gets across to the D, and he takes a really powerful, good shot from outside of the box that just barely misses going in. And we see an instance of him being unlucky, and again, not getting that end product, but a really good run, really good burst of speed into that space. So, Cade Cowell, is he good? Well, he's got a lot of raw ability and tenacity, but he lacks that end product. He has a lot of little errors that kind of undermine the rest of his game, but there's a lot to be excited about. With the right coach and the right team, gets some more development. If he can figure out that final piece of the puzzle, he could be a great player for the US and a good player in probably Europe's top 5 leagues for years to come.